Hey everybody, it's Grant, and today we're actually going to be talking about something quite a bit personal. What we're going to be talking about is the fact that I actually live in Louisiana, where a lot of crazy things have happened. So what we're going to be talking about is several subjects that have actually been affected by something that we are not allowed to talk about here on YouTube. So in this video, we're going to actually be talking about what it's like right now living in Louisiana. On top of that, we're going to be talking about the businesses that we own in Texas and Louisiana and how they are affected. On top of all of that, we're going to be talking about our rentals and what we plan on doing with those tenants, as well as what our tenants expect from us. Being that we actually have the option of a furlough right now, we're going to go ahead and call our lender and show the pros and the cons of that option as well, so that way you guys can have this information and be better prepared if you need to make a harsh decision during these trying times. So if you guys end up watching other YouTubers like Graham, Stefan, and Meet Kevin, you're also going to see things that they do not talk about that will actually bleeped out or just the audio will be cut. Reason behind this is because YouTube will not push your video. I've actually mentioned 2 videos and it actually kept my views down to like 200, 300 versus some views have even gotten up to the 18,000 range, which is really nice. And thank you so much for tuning in. But here's the thing. So in this video, instead of just trying to avoid the name of it, I'm going to call it Voldemort. Yes, that is he that shall not be named. So now it will be Voldemort, it that now shall not be named. Because hey, I think we should compare this thing to the worst possible thing we can. That is the Prince of Darkness right there. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the little Harry Potter note and let's get into it. So right now life in Louisiana is very similar to life in New York and or California or Illinois. So basically we're in a statewide shelter in place, which basically should be a lockdown. But of course there are people that do not take it as seriously, and I think they will start taking it seriously when it's a little too late. As far as that though, some things that are pretty commonly around the entire United States, which would be like going to the grocery store and not seeing a whole lot of produce, not seeing hardly any meat. You can find certain things and they do restock it as best to their ability, but it's still very hard when everybody's going in there, clearing it out every single time something gets on the shelves that's something that everybody needs. So major things that are hard to find besides meat and certain types of foods are going to be Clorox or Lysol spray or anything disinfectant. Hand sanitizer has been the hottest commodity in this town and this state, probably the US right now. As far as that goes, a lot of our businesses have been shut down because it is only essential businesses, which we'll get into that shortly, but only essential businesses are actually allowed to be open. So things like tanning salons, I got a friend that owns one, he's very stressed out. Certain other businesses and all restaurants and bars have been shut down for a couple weeks now, to where only way you can get fast food and or takeout, if you're going to get it from a local restaurant, is through the drive-thru. It's gotten so bad that I've actually got my 65-year-old mother locked away because she is the only parent I have left, and I do not want her to be taken by Voldemort, because Voldemort not only does not prey on, he does prey on the elderly and immune compromised, but Voldemort does not care about who you are, what age you are, because you're seeing a lot of things right now, not just in Louisiana, but all over the United States, that's showing us that other people are being affected that are not immune compromised and are not elderly. So do take precautions and be very careful with this. So let's actually bring up the CDC or state website and show you just kind of how bad it's gotten. We're currently at 1,388 cases. We've had over 8,603 tests, and we've had 46 passings. This is actually still on pace for it to be the highest growth rate in the entire world, which is absolutely terrible. And people are still out and about right now. You know, as I've said, it's really hard to fathom that they're not taking this seriously. Just to show you right here, I actually live in this area, which is Calcasieu Parish. Right now, there's only 5 confirmed cases in Calcasieu Parish. But the issue behind that is I've heard from, you know, local doctors and nurses, and my friend actually owns a large clinic in the area, as well as we've got a ton of doctors and lawyers that are friends with me, especially through what I do. And you know, they're saying that that is extremely false. They just haven't been able to get them up on the website yet. So everything we're seeing, as you guys know, but might not have thought about, is we are so far behind on how many cases are actually in the US. It's way worse than it looks. So as many of you know, and when I wear my polo, I am off. However, I am considered essential personnel. And before you go, oh, you're in the car business, you should be closed, just keep in mind that not only are we doing everything to sanitize every surface, we're walking around every 15 to 20 minutes to make sure all of the handles and everything at the facility are taken care of. There's hand sanitizer, Lysol spray, and Clorox wipes everywhere that we can find. We bought some in bulk and we're lucky to be able to find some. On top of all of that, you know, keep in mind that if somebody needs a car serviced right now, their engine blows up or they have a total loss, they need a place to actually go purchase one, just like 18-wheelers that are driving all of these supplies over the earth right now need, well, earth, United States and earth really, but they need a place to purchase an 18-wheeler in case theirs blows up, so that way they continue their work right now to make sure that everybody has the grocery stores and all the stuff is all stocked. But anyway, as far as all that goes, you know, also we have a couple sales that just help people right now because there's a certain amount of time before your first payment due. Like for instance, Chevy does 120 days before your first payment's due, and that really helps out on somebody purchasing, you know, a vehicle if they won't have a job for a couple months or a couple weeks or whatever ends up happening. So even though it is not considered, you know, what our medical staff is doing, and I very much appreciate you. Anybody in the medical field watching this, thank you so much, because I could be one of those people in a couple weeks on one of those respirators, especially from the territory that I live in. On top of that, all the people that are funneling the groceries and touching the boxes and the wrappers and all the things that they're having to touch that can be contaminated. Like I said, I quit wearing my watches and my rings, and I've disinfected everything because I don't want the surfaces that I'm touching to still contain the Voldemort. Sorry, I'm gonna have to get rid of that last part. But also, you know, some places it has lasted 17 days in certain environments. Also, you keep it for 14 days without ever even knowing it. It's very scary stuff. So anyway, just keep that in mind. So one thing I haven't really shared with you yet is I actually own a juice bar in Texas. It's actually in Sugar Land, Texas. It's called Main Squeeze Juice Co. It is a, you know, just a fresh pressed juice bar that has a ton of benefits to it, as well as we have smoothies and bowls. When it comes down to it though, during this trying time, about 10 days ago, Voldemort caused us to go to drive-through only. So being that we did that, we weren't mandated to do it. I think they're just now starting to do county-wide mandates to do what we're doing now. But we did that to not only protect my staff, but also to protect our customers, even though we don't have more than 10, 15 people in the store at all times, you know, all throughout the day. So when it comes down to it, we are drive-through only. It has basically allowed us to have wintertime sales. So it could definitely be better because this is the time of the year that we actually do really well, where I can start paying off some of that debt for my store. Here's the thing. Cool news about what I'm going to be sharing with you is you're going to be able to see future videos on Main Squeeze, on, you know, franchising, on how much it costs to run, how much it costs to build. So that'll be a lot of good stuff for you as well. Right now, basically though, just to keep you an update on that store, we're just running the same thing as we're doing at the dealership. We are having a skeleton type crew to where we're just having 2 or 3 employees there at one time and making sure that our customers are taken care of. So as far as our rentals go, we are going to be 100% business as usual with a huge understanding to the situation. We are definitely not going to evict anybody during this time. We're definitely not going to probably even charge interest for late payments by any means. I've always been pretty fair, and my tenants know that, and they always know that they can count on me. However, I am going to show you in this video how furlough works. I'm going to explain to you what's been explained to me, and we're going to make a phone call and see if it has changed in the last 10 days to 2 weeks that I got talked to last. But when it comes down to it, we have always screened our tenants very intensively to where we make sure we don't have this issue. A lot of our tenants have went ahead and paid us for April, so that way they don't have to worry about scrounging for money because, you know, in the event they need to pay their bills or pay for food, I'm never going to make them to where they have 100% rent or nothing. I'm going to make sure they're taken care of. But at first we have to make sure the roof is over our heads and the bills are paid. Now keep in mind, as far as being a landlord and owning 19 properties, I still have mortgages on all these properties, especially since they're new construction. I actually have a new construction loan right now on my duplex that's going up on Enterprise that I just took out last week because I stopped privately funding it for the fact that if I needed to, I'd have a little cash on the side. You also saw my other video where I put a lot of money in the stock market, and I have a little bit more that I'd like to put in as well to see what really would happen when everything bounces back. A little strain right now might turn into a big, profit later, but you just never know. Voldemort does not care about my mortgage payments or about their rent payments. Voldemort just cares about hurting us. So keep in mind, I have right around $15,900 in mortgages, and that is with several $100,000 down, okay? Several hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay? On top of that, when you factor in main squeeze, I have a $5,400 payment there, so that puts me at $21,300 in payments that are due every single month. So furlough or not, in the event that we did a furlough, let me explain what that meant to me. When my lender called me, okay, my lender called me to welcome me in, and that is included in this. My lender called me to welcome me into the newest property that you saw us actually purchase, go through, look at on my first two videos, and a later video showing you all the things that went wrong, why we end up putting down so much money. Here's the thing. I have 4 individual payments on that equal $3,000, and once again, that is in that spot right there. But when I talked to me, because they actually own 5 of my mortgages, when they talked to me, I actually said, hey, look, in the event something goes bad, what do I expect? And she said, well, and she seemed very confident in it, and she said, in the event that happens, you can furlough your payments for 3 months. And I said, great. Do they go to the end of the loan? Because that's what I've been hearing a ton on YouTube, a ton on Facebook. And for her, now once again, I had scheduled in a call and I still haven't received one, but what I was told was that no, at the end of the furlough, you owe all 3 months and you're gonna owe the 4th month. Like, let's just be honest. So if we take that $21,300, I'm gonna owe over $60,000 by furloughing my payments. So just hopefully this video is gonna help you and understand, and we're gonna make this phone call and we'll see what happens. And if it's good news for my renters, I promise you it will be in my letter that's going to them soon. But keep in mind, no one's going to be able to afford $60,000 in one-time payments because your renters paid you half a payment at this point. So keep in mind when you guys are talking about landlords and all these other things, it is extremely scary to be on both sides, right? And as far as a tenant, they can move. As far as a landlord, they lose their property and maybe even more. Not to miss their credit. So another huge thing when you're doing this is the fact that, is the bank going to report you delinquent? Well, I would definitely make sure I paid all of my bills before I'd ever let my credit go down, because that is super important, especially as a property investor. Even if you're not allowed to have that happen, right? If they say it won't work and they say it won't ding your credit, you still have had banks make so many mistakes in the past, especially with so much extra paperwork that this is going to cause. So I would recommend that you get it in writing. Please keep that in mind, that you want to have a letter saying this will not ding my credit in the event that this happens, whether I do the furlough or whether I find some new government way for them to, because there's a lot of talk as far as if the banks were to lend this, the banks can't survive this. So if the government can figure out a way to piece all that together, because this is nobody's fault. Nobody's blaming anybody, but this is why you have to look at people like Dave Ramsey, Graham Stephan, and they talk about emergency funds. I have one. I've got one that will definitely cover me for many, many, many months to years, but I'd like to invest it. I want to know what's going on so I can better make more use of my money. So keep in mind, if all of those pieces fall together and they do not hurt our credit, I would definitely take advantage of it if it was something that was not going to put me in a bind later, as in $60,000. So let's go ahead and make a phone call and see if anything has changed in the last 2 weeks, and hopefully it has. And if it has, I will make sure my tenants have that in the letter. So let's actually call the mortgage company and see what they say.
Thank you for calling GM&FX.
I'm also going to let them know.
Specialized loan servicing to service your mortgage.
I'm also going to let them know that we are recording them, and also I have a pad right here to write down any good information they'll give us. I hope this helps us. So I'm coming to you now from Wednesday morning, and I need to get this video edited for you. So I've got most of it done, but I have to throw the call in. Well, the problem is they never called back. So we've been waiting for almost 24 hours right now, or over 24 hours. I don't know exactly when we made the phone call yesterday. We made a phone call again this morning, still nothing. It's my fiance's phone because I video with my iPhone, but we haven't gotten a call back on either number. We've been even answering telemarketer phone calls back. So we're gonna throw the call as soon as they eventually get back to us at their earliest convenience, even though we have 5 mortgages with this one company. We are gonna get back to you as soon as we know more information. And I think the video is still gonna be pretty packed, and you get to see a little Louisiana living. So let's get back into the video. Thank you for watching, everybody. Also, please stay safe. Wash your hands and don't touch your face, because especially your eyes, nose, and mouth, that is how this thing spreads ever so fast. Also, when you wash your hands, please wash them for 20 seconds, so that way you can make sure you cover all surfaces of your actual hands. Please smash the like button like you are conquering Voldemort, so that way you guys can make sure that we are even quicker back to our market and our jobs, as well as the entire state of Louisiana and the entire United States, as well as the world. Also, please hit the notification bell so it'll tell you anytime that we post. Also, if you like content like this, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.